the seriousness of this virus as an epidemic, and it clearly is a very serious epidemic, but equally the fact that actually the great majority of people will not die from this. And I'll just repeat something I said right at the beginning, because I think it's worth reinforcing. Most people, a significant proportion of people will not get this virus at all, at any point in the epidemic, which is going to go on for a long period of time. Of those who do, some of them will get the virus without even knowing it. They will have the virus with no symptoms at all, asymptomatic carriage, and we know that happens. Of those who get symptoms, the great majority, probably 80%, will have a mild or moderate disease. Might be bad enough for them to have to go to bed for a few days, not bad enough for them to have to go to the doctor. An unfortunate minority will have to go as far as hospital, but the majority of those will just need oxygen and will then leave hospital. And then a minority of those will end up having to go to severe and critical care, and some of those sadly will die. But that's a minority. It's 1% or possibly even less than 1% overall. And even in the highest risk group, this is significantly less than 20%, i.e. the great majority of people, even the very highest groups, if they catch this virus, will not die. And I've really wanted to make that point really clearly.
Evening guys, sorry for the lack of post today. Been capturing some raw footage today, I'm pleased to say, and I just haven't had the chance to get it on. I apologise, we'll get it on for tomorrow. It's hospital footage, all sent in. Obviously I wouldn't be capturing anything. Just wanted to really touch base with you all. Today I've been watching a couple of regular live feeders from London. We knew the protests were on today, we're looking forward to it. I would be there. The minute I've got a few commitments at home, health, so forth, and obviously the tears, which they're arresting everybody for. What's going on? I'm absolutely disgusted today to see that one guy, after he'd covered it, after he'd been told that yes, he could, he's got his press card, he doesn't need his press card. Police officers, constables, whatever you want to call them, tyrants, Gestapo, they really acted out themselves today. They just hounded, arrested, bullied, pushed, wouldn't let members of the public ride push bikes. The police line, that's what people are getting arrested for. Subject access, feel sorry for you mate getting arrested. The police know who you are. I can't put it any better way, they're just knobs. Absolutely. Something that was quite interesting, I was having a conversation with my partner today. She was watching it, and she said, what's the incentive for these people? I said, well, you know, they go out live feed and they get so many viewers, and hopefully, you know, they can earn off the adverts, and they're bringing us free press, stuff the media's not reporting to us. She said, no, the police. I said, well, what do you mean? She said, well, the way she doesn't normally watch the things that I watch. I watch Danny Shine, social experimentalist, local experimentalist, Charlie Veach, and things like that. I had the pleasure the year before last in Leicester Square bumping into Danny Shine, and she was with me, and she went, "Oh my God!" So she was watching it, and it's just disgusting. She said there is no way that, now forget here whether you think there is a virus, you think there isn't a virus, you think the jab's poison. I'll come on to that in a second. The jab's not poison. Oh, let's have it quick. The police are doing a good job. Police aren't doing a good job, regardless what side of the fence you're on here or what. The police, regardless whether there's a virus there or not, the way they are acting, they don't have to come out with tasers. From when these protests began, they've been peaceful protests. Nobody has got out of line. There was one lot today I saw, and no wonder. Nobody's got out of line. Nobody's jumped up and down and threatened the police, and so they've had smoke flares, yeah, but they haven't lit any fires. Go to Paris. Have a look when, you know, the immigrants were camped in Paris. They were burning wheelie bins and everything, and you know, you didn't really see the level of violence from the police then that the Met Police have given all the way through. Arresting 78-year-old ladies and, you know, dragging them by their ankles into police vans where there's no need for it. Going up to the same person as I've seen today when they know he's live streaming and he's got thousands on the live stream and that's his livelihood. Tyrant Finder, go and check him out. Great guy. I'd love to meet him sometime. Tyrant Finder UK, go and check his channel out. Subject Access, go and check his channel out. If you're not already on there, subscribe to them. They will bring you the free news. And I will say, guys, Sam and Chris, fantastic work, guys. I admire you 101%. You've got balls, bottle, brains, wit, and unfortunately now you have to outwit the police. I've been watching it. It's disgusting. The police that I've seen have treated you as if you're not allowed to be self-employed. If you're a self-employed free journalist, what's this saying? Unless you work for the BBC or the ITV networks or someone like that, the mainstream media, we know who owns them. The Cabal owns them. They're not going to report anything bad about themselves. Unless you work for the Cabal, you can't say anything. Not only can you not protest in the street, you can't actually report about the people that can't protest in the street, and they're getting their heads kicked in by the people that are meant to be protecting us, which is the police force. I don't really care anymore. I'm losing faith in the police. I'm not the only one. I used to stupidly trust them, and then a few things happened, and again I lost a bit of faith and so forth. I'll probably do videos if there's enough people want to know about it. I've got no qualms. I'm very open. I'll tell you all about it. And now, any faith that I did have left in the police, I'm actually losing. And I should have it built into me, you know. These police should be looking after us. Being completely the opposite. Anyway, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's disgusted. More so, some of the comments on there, I'm on the police's side. Alright, so if you were walking in the park, you want beaten up as well, do you? Well, that's sadomasochism, and some of you are welcome to that. It's not what I'm about. I'm all about being a free human being. I've never hurt anyone in my life. I don't wish to, don't intend to, and there's been millions of people in the last few months walk through London with the same attitude as me, and they've been beaten up, and it's wrong. Skulls fractured. It's just wrong. You don't see that reported on Sky News, not as bad as the others, I'll admit. I'm watching Sky News, I'm keeping an eye on them. They're not as biased, but you don't see that on the BBC, the Sun, or whatever. I don't buy a newspaper. I refuse to buy a newspaper because I will not support terrorist-funded propaganda, media-making, money-making scam newspapers. Again, in the news today, whether you're really, there isn't a virus, there is a virus. I've got a friend who's actually in hospital, supposedly with COVID-19. I've got a friend at home, self-isolating, supposedly with COVID-19. I've got people messaging me, if you can check out the comments. They're putting comments up. I work in a hospital, and so thank you so much, guys. It really is appreciated. Your feedback I put on a lot of my videos. You decide. I really mean you decide. Trolls out there, please leave my channel. I'd like my channel to just be for friendly people, want to share genuine interest and see what's going on and make their own mind up from it. you decide. I'm not going to ram anything down anybody's throats, but you know, you can decide from certain parts of things in this life. I mean, from this government, from when it started off, it's been a complete sham. Let's face it, you know. PPE, that was a constant question on the Downing Street briefing every day. Yeah, Prime Minister, Matt Hancock, PPE. I can assure you we have PPE and the wards have sufficient. The nursing homes, all right, some of them are private. Let's just put it this way, they should buy their own. There wasn't any to buy, yeah. Oh, we've ordered so much, and guess where that came from? China, yeah. It never got there. It never arrived until what, late June, July? I mean, that's abysmal. We're supposed to be the world leaders. That's absolutely abysmal. And then we find Matt Hancock's next door neighbour and drinking buddy has been awarded a £10 million contract to deliver PPE. But what's more absurd is he's got no prior inside knowledge. So, you know, the face mask debate. We were told in March, April, May, it's very weak evidence that face masks will protect us from infection. Well, we knew that anyway, yeah? Unless it's N95. But more importantly, they said from you to another person, yeah? And then when they were made mandatory, we were told that we could make a face covering at home, so it wasn't even N95 medical. So the UK stands firm. We don't need face masks, yeah. And then all of a sudden, there's people getting arrested, fined for not wearing face masks. And we're told they're mandatory. They're not mandatory. That's confusing in itself. Now it turns out that Germany's completely cocked up with their vaccine. They didn't store it cold enough, so they haven't got enough. Bahrain's administered more vaccine than the UK, along with Israel. Well, that's not a surprise, yeah. Christmas, as I said before, not surprised. Jewish don't celebrate Christmas, yeah, so forget about it. But Israel and Bahrain, number one, number two, and we're the number third. The world leaders, are we really the world leaders? I don't think so. We were then told that the second dose of the Pfizer vaccine had to be administered within 2 weeks. 2 weeks of the first vaccine. We're now told, don't worry about it, we'll administer the second dose 12 weeks after. So that brings us up to March minimum. That's from the first. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not good at my maths, but I know there's 12 months in the year. I know 12 weeks is roughly 3 months. So that brings us up to the end of March. April again. When we were locked down last year for the first time, then the second time, then we're still really locked down. We're just left alone to go out to the shops more, I suppose, yeah. So now it's 12 weeks until we get the second jab. Whether you'd want to take it or whether you don't want to take it, we were told it had to be administered within 2 weeks. So 10 weeks, 2 weeks, is that 10 weeks mean much, yeah? Keir Starmer, I mean, you can moan about the government as it is at the moment, but I'm non-political as well. But we don't have an opposition at the moment. The biggest thing to hit politics in the last 3 years for me is Piers Corbyn running for London Mayor. Can it really be worse than Sadiq Khan? Really? I haven't seen Sadiq Khan at one of these protests. I mean, I don't expect him to come out to say, hey, I'm going to go and rally against the police, or I'm going to go and take videos, but perhaps like this David Cruden, is it, and Piers Morgan, perhaps he could be there. He doesn't have to speak, he could just be watching. No, he's probably sat back in his nice London pad or his country home, and he's waiting to come in and see Boris, I suppose, in the week and whatever. I don't know. Is that an excuse to get you expenses? Does that count? I'm not really sure. But for God's sakes, we really, really need to get something going here. As I said, opposition, Labour, what we got, Sir Keir Starmer, ex-QC human rights lawyer. I mean, I dare say progressed through the right ranks. Does anybody actually trust a lawyer? You know, leave your comments. I'm not sure if I mean, something was brought up by my stepdaughter the other day to me. Are there really people out there that will be a lawyer for somebody they know that's guilty and try and get them off of the charge? And I said, yes, there is. She said, that's crazy, really. I said, well, yeah. She said, so they can't really be nice people. This is a 12-year-old girl we're talking about. I'm not an educated 20-something plus university graduate that's been brainwashed. They're actually homeschooled anyway. But, you know, as I say on my channel again, you decide. So we've got, is it Sir? I don't know, I don't give a shit anyway. Keir Starmer, the opposition, the leader of the Labour Party, says Jeremy Corbyn will never be back in. He forgets that on the Brexit vote, 37 Labour MPs abstained from voting. They couldn't decide what they wanted, so they, or perhaps they couldn't decide what they wanted via lack of knowledge, lack of education on it, or I don't know. But that's fact. 37 abstainees. It's not bad going, is it? Going back to Piers Morgan running to be the Mayor of London, well, good on him. I'm non-political, I'm non-religious, I'm not non-religious, I'm not non-political. I look at it, always have, always will. I've never voted in my life, I never will vote in my life. It's just me. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but Piers Corbyn goes home from the London New Year celebration and he announces he's going to be running for Lord Mayor of London. Good on him, go for it. Could he really be that much worse? Keir Starmer, what's he do New Year's Day? Oh, 2 more knife crimes in London, how terrible. Yeah? Well, anybody that watched the party, semi-party and the embankment where the police spent so much time on Piers Morgan and the peaceful protesters shouting and screaming at them, "Move on, get on!" Well, guess what? While they were doing that against peaceful people, 2 people got stabbed. 2 knife crimes that made the news happened. So come on, where's the police? Yeah, they are too busy on peaceful people. Fact. So yeah, over the next couple of days, one of my subscribers, a friend of mine who will remain anonymous for legal reasons and personal reasons, actually was one person that supposedly did have COVID. Now, she's spoken to me about it today. As I say, I've been busy. I've done a semi-interview. I've just got to dot the I's and cross the T's, as I say, and condense the interview down. There is no video. It's a video, but there is no video. It's just her and myself talking. I try not to edit anything as much as I can. The reason being, some of them get quite boring, monotonous and so forth. The reason I don't edit it is I don't want people turning around and saying, "Oh, look at this, he's only picked the good points." Guys, as I keep saying, you decide. Yeah, you decide what you want to believe, what way you want to go. Don't shoot me. Yeah. Talking on that, there's another lady on the channel, the Catwoman. I've seen a video of her tonight. She's put it live on YouTube. She's had a lot of people trolling her, as I call shooting her. She does audits. It's unfair. She's in a bit of a state, guys. Yeah. I've never met her, never spoken to her. I've watched her audits. I watched her from when she began last year. She's getting a lot better. She's brilliant at auditing. She's showing no fear. She's been threatened with the police and whatever. She's got a lovely little dog, Aussie, the cat woman. Go to her channel, please, and give her some love. Just go and give her some love. Go and say, Cat, you subscriber, please stay with us. She's a female auditor and she's good at it. So anyway, I'm going to end there without boring you. I'd like to say thank you to everybody that subscribes to this channel. I think I hit, I know this sounds pretty sad, but I think I hit 72 subscribers today and I feel on top of the world. So everybody that subscribed, thank you so much. It goes right in there, guys, yeah? Yeah. Anyway, God bless. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Every like, every comment is much appreciated here. Love you guys. Thank you.